Good morning, everybody. My name is Christy. Welcome to my channel, Christy's Musings. Today, I'm going to tell you a tale, and I want you to think of Legos, of building with Legos, and each part of this story connects to another thing. I've often said everything is connected. So I hope you will see all of that as I progress in this tale. But before I get started, I want to remind you all to be kind. Be kind to me in the comments and to other people in the comments. And be kind to people when you meet them in the world. Don't get road rage and stuff like that. Because you never know what people are capable of, and you never know what people are dealing with. That being said, let's go back to the 80s. Kevin Michael Allin was actually born with the name Jesus Christ Allin on August 29th, 1956. His dad named him Jesus Christ Allin because his dad said that he talked to the real Jesus Christ, and Jesus said that his son was going to be a Messiah for the people. As you can tell, his dad was a little bit loopy. And so later on, his mom and dad got a divorce. And his mom changed his name to Kevin Michael so that he wouldn't be bullied so much at school. The way that he got the name Gigi is because his younger brother could not pronounce Jesus Christ. And so when he went on to try to become famous, he went by Gigi Allin. And Allin is Allin. Gigi Allin grew up to be a punk rocker. He was very, shall we say, weird. His stage act included him taking a bunch of laxatives before his performance and then going on the stage, defecating, and flinging feces at his audience. He indulged in all sorts of self-mutilations and cropophilia. Cropophilia. That means he ate his own poo. And I'm only telling you about some of the stuff that he did because we don't discuss what the wicked do, right? You know, back in the 80s, that's when I was in the military. I went in 1983. And as we got through boot camp and was able to go to our locations, I had several, mostly female, roommates and such that were really getting into that punk rock scene. And, you know, when you're in the military and trying to do some of the edgy stuff that they did back then, you know, is always considered unsat with your military uniform. But I kind of liked some of the stuff, but, you know, I was more of a t-shirt and blue jeans kind of girl. But I did like the way that some of them dressed and everything. But I found this article, and it's from the Hard Times. It says, we interview the CIA agent who created punk rock as a psyop to make legitimate revolt look stupid. Now, I've told you all that if you have not read the book Chaos, you need to. It lays out a whole lot of stuff about the 60s and trying to change the culture of the nation and the world. But anyway, there's a CIA agent that comes out and he says, and of course, he needs to remain anonymous, but he says that he created the punk rock movement. And he says, I wanted punk to seem dirty like hippies, but also militant, so people would confuse it with more serious groups, Black Panthers, socialist workers, etc. It came down to two elements: bad music and clownish fashions. Um, then the questioner says, but punk rock artists had clear political messages, eventually starting popping up stateside. Bad Religion, Anti-Flag, even Andrew WK's partying was has revolutionary potential. And our anonymous CIA dude says, messages about rebellion and corruption will always slip through, but there simply aren't enough of them to counter the suburban, radio-friendly punk ethos we designed later. My successor created Blink 182 and Hot Topic for that reason. And so they go on, and I'll put the link for this in the description. But I wanted you to see that this one CIA dude is trying to say that he created punk rock. And I've already talked about the tall Israeli that created hip hop. So you see, and he even mentions in this article how they worked into the country rock. Oh, and by the way, it just breaks my heart to hear about Dolly Parton's husband passing away. Rest in peace to him, and my heart goes out to Miss Dolly. That being said, okay, so we see a connection there. So that's another layer with these Legos that we're building, right? In comes this man named Todd Phillips. Todd Phillips is an American director, producer, and screenwriter. He is behind movies such as Road Trip, The Hangover. The Hangover, back in my drinking days, I got on this four-wheeler and I drove all around this park, drunk as all get out. It was a party thing, so it was closed off. Nobody's driving vehicles or anything. But anyway, I'm driving around on this four-wheeler, having a jolly old time. Woke up the next morning. I'm dirty all over. I got cuts and scratches all over. Didn't know what the heck happened. And my husband at the time says, go up to somewhere and get something. I don't know. I go out to that four-wheeler and I look at it. I didn't know how to drive it. Had to get drunk again to be able to remember how to drive it. And that's what they say in The Hangover. That's the only thing I took away from that, because the movie to me was raunchy. But anyway, Todd Phillips, that's just a lot of little information. It was free information for you back in my days, But anyway, so Todd Phillips did Due Date, A Star is Born, and the Joker movies, to name a few. Now, the makeup for the Joker in Folie à Deux, I don't know if I said that correctly, is stylized after John Wayne Gacy when he was Pogo the Clown. The film Joker is set in the 1980s, which is when Gacy was actively committing his crimes. Todd Phillips, though, became connected to John Wayne Gacy through a documentary he had done in college. He did this documentary. Todd Phillips did this documentary when he was in college, and it was called Hated, Gigi Allen and the Murder Junkies. And the documentary has gone on to be like in the cult icon for the punk rockers of this world, you know. But the documentary was about G.G. Allen and all of his stage antics and such. And Todd Phillips says that John Wayne Gacy was kind of like the executive producer for this documentary. Um, Gacy did the artwork for the poster and for the box and such for the documentary. And John Wayne Gacy had a lot of communication with G.G. Allen and later with Mr. Phillips in creating the documentary. You know, what I guess I want you to understand is, like I said, the amount of focus and attention from people like John Wayne Gacy in the documentary, and how much that interaction has bled over into other Todd Phillips's movies. I'm reading from another article, and it says, before Old School and Hangover movies made him one of Hollywood's most bankable comedy directors, Phillips was a maker of low-budget documentaries. The first of which focused on Kevin Michael G.G. Allen, a punk singer better known for his repulsive and violent on-stage behavior than his music. Described by Trouser Press Record Guide as a self-immolating, jockstrap-clad, mace-spraying, dung-flinging aberration, Allen wrote songs with titles like You Hate Me and I Hate You, and I'll Slice Your Effin' Throat. But it wasn't his lyrics, which were also strewn with misogynist language and racial slurs, that got him noticed by the mainstream media. He became famous and earned invites to daytime talk shows like Geraldo and the Jerry Springer Show for using the stage as a toilet and covering his body with the results. The cutting his body with glass shows, and in one instance, smashing himself in the face with a microphone so hard that he broke 6 of his own teeth. You know, to me, that says this person was demonically possessed. But I'm trying to show you that all of these things are connected. And again, I go back to the book Chaos and I'm trying to show you how we are being manipulated. Today, we have talking heads like Sean Ryan. We have Russell Brand and all sorts of talking heads that are kind of moving the culture today. Like I said, Geraldo was the talking head, and then that trash, the Who's Your Daddy, all of this stuff moves our culture, and it feeds that internal sin of self mutilation that Satan wants for us all. And there's this thing is called, that they've talked about in the past, is called 6 degrees of separation. And so by me telling you all about this, I keep finding it's like whenever I see a horrible story, I automatically go to find out connections. And that's what I find, that so many infamous people can be traced back to other shady characters and shady connections. And I keep finding all of these connections to Hollywood and 3-letter agencies. And so I just want, by presenting all of this to you all, I want you to be mindful of how Satan works and how Satan is using all of these agencies and agents to manipulate society, and he's trying to destroy what God created. So be careful, little eyes, what you see. Oh, be careful. I'm not going to go into it all, but guard your heart and be in the Word and have the Lord keep a bubble of protection around you. I love you all, and I hope it's kind of rambling, but I hope you get something out of this video today. Love y'all.
The CIA wrote all my songs, and then I found out that I'd been cloned. Life on this planet is pretty hard. Feels like I'm living on frickin' Mars.